Well. It's Saturday, September 27th. It's noon Eastern time. I'm Bob Harris. It's time for the Week 4 Ask Me Anything live stream. Hoping everyone's having a great deal of success out there as it goes. Holler if there are any issues with the sound. I know you will. Before we get to the questions, footballguys.com, that's the website. You'll want to go there. I appreciate you joining me here every Saturday at this time on the Football Guys live YouTube channel. If you're just joining in and you stumbled across me on the X device or whatever, subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell. You get notifications of this show, the pregame show on Sundays, the Trivia Live, many shows on the Football Guys live channel. Also, check the Audibles channel, check the Dynasty channel, and the Fantasy Football channel. All great shows on all those channels, as you well know. Good morning, Dame. Great to see you. Happy that everyone is here. In case you don't know me, I mentioned I'm Bob Harris, but you can hear me every day at Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturday nights, 8 to 11. You'll hear me tonight on the NFL radio channel. And then Sundays, you'll hear me on the pregame show. You'll also find all my work at Football Guys, of course. During the week, you'll find the Fantasy Notebook every Thursday, the Friday Close Calls questions with Gary Davenport, and Saturdays, my in and out column should go live at any time. It's a little bit edgy. It's not for everyone, but it's a lot of fun. So check that out. And every weekday, the Daily Update podcast, Mike Dempsey, my Sirius XM co-host, and myself do a 10-minute pod. Just start your day with a little update of news and the information you need to know to set the table for each passing day. I know there are already many questions here, and I'm appreciative of them coming. You know, if I'm here, I like to do the injuries first. Of course, Scampers and all are in charge in the chat. If I don't get to your question, listen to the people in the chat. They'll answer your questions as well as I do. And I'll get to as many as I can. But it's week 4. We're hoping things get a little bit more normalized. We're starting to see some things that we expected happen, or we're starting to see some things we didn't expect be a little more persistent than maybe we would hope for. Hi, Andrea. Thanks for coming. So we'll get that. But, I like to start the day with the injury news. I'm going to do it by game this week because I think it's a quick, easy way. It's how I do it on the radio on Sundays. It's handy, it's fast, and it gets us through it. Early morning. Remember, we have an early kickoff tomorrow in Ireland, so that's 9:30 Eastern time. That means an 8 a.m. Inactive announcement. J.J. McCarthy out for the Vikings. Jaylen Warren added to the injury report as questionable with a knee issue. He sounds like he's going to play. Adam Schefter's reporting this morning that will be the case. Johnny Smith also questionable. The early afternoon window, the games that are big games. Washington at Atlanta. Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt is questionable with a knee issue. I'm not sure if he's going to go or not. You'll have to watch that one. Jaden Daniels, we know, is out. Marcus Mariota will start. Terry McLaurin out. They say no surgery for now, but that for now sounds ominous. Noah Brown out. John Bates out. Atlanta, nobody of important importance. New Orleans, Buffalo, everyone's good to go except Devon Vele. He's questionable. It's questionable if he should be in your lineup decision-making process. Same with Cleveland and Detroit. Sione Vecchia out. No big deal there. Carolina, New England is where it gets interesting. Chuba Hubbard, questionable with a calf injury. Dave Canales said it, kind of made it sound like this was a maintenance issue during the week and that it won't keep him from playing. Tetairoa McMillan, however, he is questionable with a calf injury of his own. This one sounds way more uncertain. There's no Jatavian Sanders, no Xavier Legette in that one. For the Chargers, no major things except Will Dissly. You all know I love to fire the dismissal in my daily contest. Won't be doing that this week. He's out. New York Giants, Graham Gano's out. Younghoe Koo will do the kicking. Tyrone Tracy out. Cam Scatterboo to the moon, or not, but at least the workload. Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, the Eagles are good to go. On the other side of the ball, Chris Godwin, questionable with the ankle injury. He has yet to play. Sounds like he'll be there this week. Baker Mayfield, questionable with the right biceps. Sounds like he will play. Didn't practice this week. Sounds like he'll play. Mike Evans out. Tennessee Titans finally put Khalil Mullings on IR to take us out of the agony of waiting for him every week, even though he wasn't going to do anything. Late afternoon window, Alec Pierce out for the Colts with a concussion. Going against the Rams, Devontae Adams is questionable. Sean McVay seems very optimistic that he will play, and so we'll hope that is indeed the case. Colby Parkinson also questionable there. So we'll see how that goes for him. Not really sure you should be deciding any lineup questions around him. Jacksonville at San Francisco. De'Ami Brown is questionable with a shoulder injury. Don't overlook Parker Washington as a possible pivot if you need somebody in the late afternoon window. San Francisco, maybe you're playing Juwan Jennings. He is questionable. He did get on the practice field Friday for the first time in 2 weeks. Seems like he's trending in a good direction, but he has the ankle and shoulder issues. Ricky Pearsall, questionable. He is more likely to play with a knee injury. He's practiced most of the week. Brock Purdy's back. He's off the injury report. Baltimore, Kansas City, Isaiah likely to return. He's listed as questionable. Kansas City and Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs, everyone's going to go. Xavier Worthy will return in this game. Chicago at Las Vegas, DeAndre Swift and Colston Loveland, both questionable, both expected to play. Michael Mayer out on the other side of the ball. Sunday Night Football, no CeeDee Lamb for the Cowboys, no defense for the Cowboys. We'll see what Jordan Love can do. Monday night, no injury reports out yet, but we knew Justin Fields has been cleared to play. So there we have that. That's exciting. I got through that fast, super fast. I know that's what you were all looking for, super fast. So how's everyone doing this morning? How are your teams doing? Is everything going well? I hope it is. I see you have the questions piling up. I will start getting to those. I feel like we're at the point now where some of the decisions become a little more obvious to me. And morning, Slade, Royal Slade, thanks for coming. Not a dumb question. You should probably assume that. I think it's gonna be a split. Like, to me, watching them, and I've been in on Kenneth Walker all along. Everyone knows this. I'm not breaking any news here. But to me, this seems like a case where Walker is obviously the more dangerous player. But man, Zach Charbonnet is getting some premium opportunities, right? Kenneth Walker breaks off a long run, and he's going to get work. So I think they're both playable. Walker, what we're running back to Charbonnet at flex level, or maybe more of a what the heck flex, would prefer, to have a more steady guy, but he'll be fine. Let's start getting to some questions. In a standard league, Bruce Jacobson would like to know: 6-point pass TD, 3-point interception, trying to drink lemonade out of Stroud, Lawrence, Darnold, Dart. Got offered Penix and Dart rest of the season. Buy the Penix dips. I don't know that that's something I'm buying, right? Like it is a 2-quarterback league, so yes, I would probably do that. He does have good job security, that matters. Yeah, I'd probably do that. I mean, like honestly, you have enough bodies that you could get by without it, right? If you feel like Dart has the upside, if you feel like preseason Dart was the Dart we're going to see, I don't know that it is, man. The Giants are not good. They don't protect well. Preseason is a different animal than regular season. So, but I do think once they go to him, they're sticking with him. So he's got great players around him. Penix probably the safer play to me. The optimism of the unknown is not high with Dart just because of the team he's on. John Fusak, good morning. Calvin Austin versus Minnesota or Hollywood versus Baltimore. That's an interesting one. I think Austin seems like he has established himself a nice little role. I just want to check some numbers there, as I sometimes like to do. And make sure what I thought is true is true. Yeah, it's like a 15% target share, second high on the team for Calvin Austin. I'm probably going Calvin Austin on this one. By golly. Wide receiver to flex, Austin or Godwin. And the thing with Hollywood, like, he had the great week, right? But since then, it's been Tyquan Thornton. We have Xavier Worthy back. So, it just seems like Austin is the second option for Aaron Rodgers, and they seem to have a good connection, whereas Hollywood is one of now 3 options, and Tyquan Thornton seems to be the preferred option. I would probably take a shot on Godwin. Like, it's a bad arm. Let me check the projections and see what they say. See if I'm crazy. This is how I check myself. And you should all do this. Go to footballguys.com. The projections are available to you, just like they're available to me. Yeah, the team is pretty much is fairly high on Godwin. I would probably confirm what my feeling was, my gut was, so I'd do that. This is also my favorite hour of the week. And I have a few questions for you, Jeff Bolt. But I'll answer yours first. Half-point PPR, Kamara versus at Buffalo or Henderson versus Carolina. Great matchup for Henderson. If this depends on how you feel like this is going to play out. And you can see this a couple of different ways. We saw Henderson got like 80 plus, almost 90% of the snaps after the Ramondre Stevenson fumbles and the Antonio Gibson fumble. The coaching staff says they're still in on Stevenson, that they're fine, but like one more fumble, will they be fine? Or who knows? Or are they really fine? Kamara hasn't been getting the targets. That's been a problem here, right? So, like, this sounds like your flex spot, and it's a half-point PPR. It's a relative thing for me, so I don't take that into account. Like, I keep expecting a Henderson breakout. Royal Slade should probably answer this. Are we getting the Henderson breakout this week, Royal Slade? Like, I would like to play that. If you needed just a safe floor play, it is probably it's probably going to be Kamara for me, and if I need a little bit of a swing for the fence, it's going to be Henderson. Not knowing what the workload's going to be. My suspicion is, I'll tell you, my gut feeling is it is more Henderson this week, and this might be his breakout game. That's my gut feeling. Easy question. Tony Franklin in Denver, but Christian Kirk and Tony Horton are both free agents. Which of the three would best have the rest of the season? I'd rather have Troy Franklin right now, 20% target share. That works for me. Like, I want a guy with a role in an offense. I expect Bo Nix to get better as the season goes on. I know it hasn't been great. It wasn't great to start last year, right? So that's where I'm at on that one. All right. Double checking, make sure some news didn't happen while I wasn't looking. And it didn't. You can count on Mr. Scampers for that information. Or I saw Dave Kluge in the chat stirring the pot down at the bottom of the chat. We'll see what he's up to. The new newsmaster. Killing it on Fridays on the news feed there. Hawkinson or Andrews this week? I'm probably playing Hawkinson this week. Like, I'm a big Andrews guy. I need to see more than 1 week. Look at Dave getting the preferential treatment here. Royal Slade hoping we get the Henderson breakout. I think this is likely game 2. Who else is going to break out? I think this is probably the Ashton Jeanty week, or it should be an Ashton Jeantier week. How about that? How about we go with Ashton Jeantier? I think he's got it's a favorable matchup for him. I know Kluge's looking forward to this one. One wide receiver and one flex. Austin, Godwin, Tillman versus Detroit. I have Godwin sitting on my bench. I'd probably go Godwin here. Tillman would be my second choice. You dare play him, but like that you're asking the question, John, is the answer to the question. There is some risk involved. We haven't seen him for over a year and 2 weeks, to be exact. But the encouraging aspect is he's been practicing for 2 weeks and practicing, fairly robustly at times. I think they gave him a day off this week just for a maintenance kind of thing. But the concern then is Baker Mayfield's arm. He's, and the offensive line and the Philadelphia matchup. So I get it. Like, I'm probably still going to try Godwin here. Let me see what the projection is on Tillman. Yeah, I'm going to go with Godwin and take a chance. Sounds like, since it's hopefully the rest of your lineup's very strong. And maybe that's part of the determining factor, right? A one wide receiver, one flex. So I'm going to go Austin and Godwin, and Godwin, Austin and Tillman are kind of interchangeable for me. So it just seems like the Cleveland Browns want to run the football. All right, Jeff Bolt, half-point PPR filling in 2 wide receiver, half-point PPR filling in 2 wide receivers and a flex. So pick 3. Chase usually given at Denver, BTJ at San Francisco, Pickens versus Green Bay, Pearsall versus Jacksonville, or McMillan at the New Orleans Saints or New England Patriots. Well, McMillan's beat up, so I'll go ahead and remove the mystery. Like, maybe he's of interest if he's active. Again, if I mentioned at the top of the program, Dave Canales sounded pretty uncertain about him. Sounded more certain about Chuba Hubbard. We'll see in the 90 minutes before kickoff. Either way, I would probably play Pickens this week. I like Pickens and Pearsall both, and I'd probably play Chase Brown over BTJ right now, given the matchup. Greetings, Toby, from the Oregon coast. Thanks for coming. It's early there. Which suspect defense to go with? San Francisco versus Jags, Atlanta versus Washington without Daniel Jones, or Philly at Tampa Bay, and without a lot of their offensive line. Tristan Wirfs, by the way, should be back this week. So maybe that helps out, but they're still missing numerous other pieces that are of concern to me. I'd probably go Atlanta against Washington myself. Hello, Michael Robertson. Dame needs to drop one of these for a lousy kicker. Oh, that's painful. Hate the need for a lousy kicker. Somewhere Jake Seeley's going, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, the answer should be Golden, but it's not. It's Waddle for me. I'm unenthusiastic. I want Golden to turn into a thing so bad, though. That's the two I'm choosing between. I think for this week in particular, I'm probably hoping to play Golden in a great matchup. They've been trying to tee him up, right? They're trying to hit him. We'll see if it can happen. Pollard or Junkins for me. Tony Pollard versus Houston. Jordan Mason versus Pittsburgh. London versus Washington. I'm going to play Jordan Mason there, Andrea. Any interest in Shepard this week? Slight interest. Emergency interest. Yes. He's got the job done before. It's for sure. Savvy veteran. Knows how to make himself useful. So yes. But Godwin's not hurt. He's getting better. He's just getting started. But he's not hurt. Scampers, no non-PPR. Teteroa, Devontae Smith, or Golden versus Dallas. I want to take the swing on Golden. Like, to me, let's go back to the Philadelphia passing attack. Last week was fantastic. Everything we expected and hoped for. Top performances, wide receiver one performances by both wide receivers. How often is Philadelphia going to be playing from behind? The 32 passes that Jalen Hurts threw last week, that was the second time in 11 games he's gone over 30 attempts. It's just not the goal there. They want to run the ball well. That said, they're not running it effectively. This might be a week where Tampa Bay has a tough run defense, even without Kalajic Nancy. So it's possible that works out. Like McMillan is tricky. I like the matchup. Okay. Christian Gonzalez is going to be back in that one. So I don't know if that's like a huge difference maker at this point. He's missed some games. So, but also Ted Rose hurt. It's like I'm sitting here, Scampers, trying to talk myself into Golden in a non-PPR. That's what I've done. It's exactly what I've done. Let me go just see how crazy that is. It's not entirely crazy. It's fairly crazy. I mean, McMillan is a clear-cut best player if he starts and if he plays okay. So there's a lot. That's how we'll divide this one up, Scampers. The logical person in you says play McMillan if he's active. If he's not active, all bets are off the table, and I'd probably play Golden over Devontae Smith. Half-point PPR, running back 2, Montgomery versus Cleveland or Henderson versus Carolina. Permission slip signed. Like even the projections this week on Montgomery, and I'm a big Montgomery guy. He's been fantastic. This is a tough run defense. The Packers would like you to know. I get the thing. I think he's projected as running back 30. Let's see if the Henderson's actually ahead of him on the projections. I like to use the projections instead of my rankings because that kind of is the arbiter of these things. Yeah, he's one ahead. They're 30 and 31. Both projected for about 11 points. So, right, I know what you want to do. You have permission, sir. It is not crazy. Dame, thoughts on my strategy of playing the opposite of who did well the week prior between Shakir and Keon? That's totally fair. And it's going to turn out to be Dalton Kincaid. All of a sudden, Dalton Kincaid turned into Dalton Kincaid. Who knew? I had no idea he was that guy, even though I've been told that for how many years now. But I think that it's totally fair. I mean, again, we've talked about this before, but the whole plan, Joe Brady's plan in Buffalo is there is no wide receiver one. There's an open wide receiver on every play, and that's the target. Ideally, there's not a hierarchy like we would like to think there is. Andrew Cooper. This is a trick question. He knows I have no idea what any song by the band Train is. Savage. That was savage, Coop. I'm done with Kelsey. Thoughts on Brenton Strange to start over him this week? Well, I understand the emotional response to this. Strange is an okay play. I just want to check something to make sure how, like, sometimes I have to double check just to see if what I'm about to say is as stupid as it feels like it is. I know there are people out there who feel like this is going to be a big Kelce week. I know those people exist. Brenton Strange is tight end 7 last week. I think it's a stretch given the matchups. I'm probably still playing Kelce over Strange, but it's not. I mean, like that. I'm sitting here agonizing over it. Tells you if that's like your feelings matter here, right? It's your team. You've got to decide these things. So yes, if you're so done with Kelce, Strange is playable. I'm not sure I love the matchup this week in a PPR league. I am looking at a flex spot. Andrew Cooper's in here. Coop, tell the man in the chat. Strange? Is this the Strange week or is this the Kelce week? I do not know the songs. I hear them sometimes when I listen to other shows on Sirius, but I don't know those songs. I have no idea who it is. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked by Cooper. Okay. In a PPR, 1 point PPR, I'm looking at a flex spot, Henderson versus Carolina, Keenan versus New York Giants, or Pearsall versus Jacksonville. I'm probably playing. It's between Keenan and Pearsall. 6.5 dozen the other. Probably Pearsall. Like maybe you can wait. What do we got? The Giants kickoff right now. You can't really wait. So the Chargers are playing early in the day. I would probably play Pearsall there. Like if Jauan Jennings was active, that might make a difference for me. That might make a difference for me. Checking the crazy meter here. It's close enough. Like if you were concerned about like, so my concern is probably just only my concern. Like Jauan Jennings, when he plays, is a legitimately good receiver, right? Like when he gets the snaps, he's the top receiver on that team almost every time. You can go out and like when they're on the field together, it's been more Jennings than Pearsall. So that's a little bit of a concern, and they're close enough. Like they're ranked within 3. So I would co-sign if you're fine with Pearsall. If you want to play Keenan Allen in a great matchup, I'm fine with that too. They're both well inside the top 20. Let's put it that way. Sorry, Henderson. Ryan Borgerson out of Golden, Garrett Wilson, and Malik Neighbors against the Chargers. Which 2 wide receivers do I play? If I told you not to play Malik Neighbors, would you not play Malik Neighbors? You have to play Garrett Wilson and Malik Neighbors. By the way, if you didn't hear at the top, Justin Fields is back. Justin Fields is back. I know it's a new quarterback for Neighbors. Malik Neighbors would like you to know that he can get things done with, I don't know. Let's say he was playing with a crappy Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, and Tim Boyle over the course of a whole season, and he finishes wide receiver, 6? I think he'll figure this out with Jackson Dart. That's my thoughts. Garrett Wilson, I love Golden this week. I love the matchup this week. I want to play the Packers as much as I can this week. It's still hard. I mean, until we start seeing a verifiable workload for Golden, we're just playing, we're wish casting here. Baker versus Philly or Purdy versus Jacksonville. It's going to be Purdy for me in this one. Gross battle, half-point PPR, Justice Hill at Kansas City or Caleb Johnson. Well, it can't be Caleb Johnson, Xavier Scott. Ooh. It's 100% Justice Hill. That's not even gross. That's fantastic. I love that option. That's a little gross. I'm with you there. Out of Golden, we did this one. I get to him, Ryan. Takes me a minute. Look at Dave out here just partying in my chat. Love it. Keep it up, kids. You and Cooper. Coop. All right. Kelce are likely this week. Probably playing Kelce and, take a little wait and see on likely. I know we'd like to catch that lightning in a bottle his first game back. I'm not doing it with Darren Waller. I'm not doing it with likely. 2 ends of the spectrum of likely range of outcomes there. I'm not doing it with either of them. When you have an opportunity to see, I think Kelsey's good enough. You get an opportunity to see. I know it hasn't been great, but it hasn't been horrible. Standard League. Nick R says we lump a wide receiver and tight end together. Need 2 Kraft, Bowers, and BTJ. It's the tight ends in this one. Man, so the thing about Brian Thomas Jr. is he's getting the volume. They're not translating to fantasy points. He needs to catch all the footballs. Also, Trevor Lawrence needs to throw the footballs better. This is not like, I know Bose is gone, but there's still some pass rushing depth there. If I have Kraft and Bowers, man, Kraft is legitimate good, right? Like when you watch him play, he's just good. Andrew Cooper, how good is Tucker Kraft? I don't think he's Bowers good, but he's pretty damn good. Sit one, full PPR. If he plays Henderson versus Carolina, Judkins versus New England. I'm probably playing Ted if he plays. I'm probably playing Judkins for sure, and I'd probably sit Henderson. I don't want to get, living like when we get caught in our little bubbles, right? Like I'm caught in an injury bubble. I'm paying a ton of attention to that, right? I'm like hyper focused as I head into the weekend on the injury situations and how to mitigate the risks. And I'm telling you how to handle your rosters, not my rosters. I might take wild chances on my rosters based on what I know. I still want to be responsible with your decisions, right? So when I tell you McMillan, I'm assuming if he plays, you're comfortable playing him. I guess that's the that's the rub there, right? If you're not comfortable playing him, if you if you have a player going into game, I'm injury agnostic. In advance, I don't worry about injuries, but I'm not stupid. When a player is hurt, he's hurt, right? And so when I'm comparing 2 players and one is healthy and one is not, I mean, we've seen plenty of guys go through and come off injuries and have fantastic games and do great things, but also they're going into the game hurt. I mean, it's already like one small mark against them. And if I have another guy that I believe is the equal to that, I'm perfectly fine with that. In this case, McMillan's better enough than Henderson, even if I think a breakout is possible. I mean, McMillan's been legit good, right? So, and it's not a horrible matchup. So there you go. My take on a little philosophy there for you kids. Good morning, Parker. What's your take on Rondé Gadsden and continue to start? What to do with Zach Ertz last, if possible, Fields or Geno this week? I'm playing Fields now that he's cleared. He was cleared this morning. I'll go ahead and play that. I do love the Geno matchup. So if you have concerns, like, well, it's a Monday night game and I don't have a fallback. What if Fields is not asymptomatic when he wakes up tomorrow or whatever? Like, Geno's a perfectly fine play against Chicago. Zach Ertz. I'm not keen on Zach Ertz this week, but he is, the projections are for a tight end 1 finish, tail end tight end 1 finish. Rodney Gadsden, I would like to see more, but I'm enthusiastic and excited about him. We heard all the buzz all off season long, and throughout camp. And now he's getting an opportunity. Jim Harbaugh sounded really excited about what he did in this game with the great Will Dissly unable to fire. Then, I'd like to wait and see. Like I was talking about this on the radio the other night. We were talking about Darren Waller, likely coming back. And like, which player would you rather have on your roster? Darren Waller, a guy who hasn't played since 2023, who hasn't been good since 2020, or a guy who like Rondé Gadsden, who we've heard a lot about, a young player who might be an ascended talent. Like, I'm probably going to take a chance on that, knowing it's tight end and I can stream however I want. Yeah, give me that, please. Thank you. But I wouldn't be playing him over Zach Ertz this week. And I'm not super keen on Zach Ertz this week. If you read my in and out column, now available at Football Guys, you'll find out who I'm in and out on. Might be out on Ertz. But in and out is a funny thing, people, if you don't read the article, I'll explain a little bit. I'm out at projected finish, right? Like I'm out on Daniel Jones this week. It's because he's projected to be quarterback, 10 or 8, something ridiculous. And I think he's going to fall a little short of that. It's just like last week, I was out on Justin Herbert. Well, if I'm in a 1 quarterback league and Justin Herbert's my quarterback, I'm not playing him in a tough matchup. I'm playing him, but he was projected to be quarterback 5. I thought he might finish outside the top 10 for sure. And he did. He was quarterback 13, still serviceable for you. Just didn't meet projections. Same with Zach Ertz. There, I said it. All right, man. The Franklin has been good, man. He has established chemistry with Bo Nix. I don't know what y'all think about it. Dave Kluge, you're in that area. What do you think of Bo Nix? Is this are we seeing a repeat of last year where they're kind of figuring it out and they'll get it dialed in, or was I way too over my skis on my Bo Nix love? Keep trade cut. This is brutal. Brutal. I mean, I don't know if you're going to get value back on any of these right now. The Brent Hindless Mastodon, still pretty damn good. I was watching some live footage of a concert last night, this very morning, and it was fantastic. Meshuggah, I cannot. I'm keeping Meshuggah because Thomas Ake is a machine that I cannot live without. Pantera, I know Zach Wild a little bit. I've met Frankie Batante. But man, Phil just can't do it anymore. If you go see them live right now, it's just Phil out there leading the audience in sing-alongs. I could cut Pantera if I had to. I love you, Zach. I love you, Frankie. But man, it's Phil. He's not with it anymore. And if I could trade Mastodon, I would. I don't know if I'll get great value from him. That's a tough question. Nick R wants Toby to sit Henderson. All right. Zay Flowers or Quinton Johnson. I feel like I should recuse myself. There are players that I'm just not, I lack visibility on. Zay Flowers is a guy I just lack visibility on. I would probably play him over Quentin Johnston, but I never feel good about it. The projections agree. They have Zay Flowers as a high-end wide receiver too. They have Quentin Johnston as the tail end at 24. So 13 and 24 between the two. That's kind of how I feel. Like, I'll say this for Quentin Johnston. He is not the Quentin Johnston that we've been playing, right? He's not. Or like from past years. He's just a different guy. He's figured some things out. And this is something we should all remember. Just like, I talk about all the time here, being right or wrong are not permanent conditions. Like, I'll be right about a player part of the year and wrong about a player part of the year. Hopefully I'm right more than I'm wrong. But we all know these things have ebbs and flows and things change. It's a game based on variance with an oblong spheroid. Weird things are supposed to happen, right? That's the design. And so Quentin, but one thing we should know, like, bad players or players who struggle at things can get better at those things. Why? They have the best coaching in the world. They're in the NFL, right? And so if they have a weakness, they're working on it. It's sad when the weakness of a first round pick coming in is who's drafted to catch the football is catching the football, but that doesn't mean he can't work at it. Just like a running back who can't pass block can work on pass blocking and become really good at it with the diligent effort, and it keeps him on the field. Quentin Johnston's clearly worked on his things. He's catching the football better. And also the Chargers passing attack has the Chargers offense in general. It's clear the team believes the best player on their roster is Justin Herbert, and they're trusting in that. And that's not been the case for Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman over the course of their careers. We'll see. Omarion Hampton's coming off a big week, and he's set up for a big game this week too. So I don't want to get too excited, but that's that we're having this discussion, that this is the discussion is the great thing about football. Players can change and get better. It's joyous, people. It's joyous. Pick up a kicker from the Monday slate. Really? All right, I'll come back to that one. PPR, need two. Kamara, Olave, Dobbins. I'm playing Dobbins and Olave. I know that's horrible, right? In PPR, Olave's been money, right? I love Dobbins, like the matchup. I feel like I'm overly hating Alvin Kamara because I'm bitter about his lack of passes use, receiving usage. Let me just check the target percentage and see if my perception, you get perceptions, right? Are they real? It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Let me get all the positions in here. Running back, apply. Yes. Alvin Kamara, 8.3% target share. He is 5th on the team. Down there with Jack Stahl and Devon Bailey and Kendra Miller. And, well, they're down in the single digits too, but 8.3%. Like, it's just, here's a Chris Olave out here with a 30% target share. I'm taking that. They throw the ball a heck of a lot. I feel like that's sacrilegious. I've always been an Alvin Kamara guy. It's horrible. Let's see. A little clarity there on the Monday kicker. That's good news. Thank you for that. That's right. That is exactly right. I know. I'm just catching up. I'm like 10 miles behind the chat in my discussions, and I'll try to catch up here a little bit better. So if the so yes, and that's the thing. Like, how often are they going to be trailing like that? I don't know. Like, I'll grant you, Saquon Barkley hasn't been great or as great as we'd like, but I don't know that that's a permanent condition either. I don't think they're going to be trailing in a lot of games. That's what I think. Need two. I feel like now it's more guys. Now it's more. Probably still playing the ones I like. Like, you could play Swift if you wanted over Olave. I'm going to play Olave there. Drafted the Daniel McLaurin stack. Let me just look at something here. Olave projected for almost 15 points. Kamara projected for less than 14. So it's close. Just want to give you, like, I'm sitting here saying things like I'm just making them up. Not totally making them up, but kind of, right? Because we're all just making this up. We're basing it on anticipated outcomes that we don't actually know the outcome of. We're doing probabilities. What's more likely? Right now, more likely is Chris Olave returning value than Alvin Kamara. It's just where we're at, man. Workloads. Without the passing, the receiving equity, Alvin Kamara is not a great running, not a great fantasy back. What's up, Bob? Oh, not much. Greetings. Hi, Akron, Ohio. I was just there or in that area. Two quick ones for me. Played Walker on Thursday. Need two more out of these three. Dobbins, Hall, and Swift. Kraft or Ferguson playing each other. Second, Kraft or Ferguson playing each other. Like, Ferguson is all the rage. I'm fine playing him. Also fine playing Kraft. What are the projections? I think, like, my memory. Ferguson is projected for tight end 3 finish with 13 points. Tucker Kraft, 12 points at tight end 6. I mean, I'm probably playing that. I mean, Ferguson is tight end 1 overall right now, right? And there is no CeeDee Lamb. Like, and I think the Cowboys are going to be playing from behind. So all those things, yes. I'm in on Dobbins. Like, I know the world would prefer Breece Hall. I do not. Cooper out there in my chat, causing trouble. Drop or patience with Ingram. Not looking to drop him, but patience should be running thin. Here's what I like to do. I like to give him 4 games. He hasn't had, like, I'm counting. Okay, I'll say this different. 4 weeks, because he has not played all the games. He has not been there for all the weeks, and that's part of the equation with him. I'd like to see him in a game and see him healthy. But the patience is thin. Patience is thin. Nick is probably right. Nick is probably closer to right. Give me some doom metal, Coop. Some Candlemass. PPR, if Jennings doesn't play, Ayamanor, Tolbert, Turpin, or Njoku, I could play Ayamanor. Is that a late afternoon kickoff for you? I guess it is. Is it? You probably know better than me. No, it's an early kickoff. So you won't know in advance. So that's going to be a tough decision. I'd love to play Jennings, but he is beat up. You would be more likely to pivot to one of the Cowboys. I don't know. I don't think Cleveland's a late afternoon game either. So, Iron Eddie, you got issues there. Johnson or Hunter Henry? This is a trick question. Andrew Cooper. Colin Cooper. Andrew Cooper. Johnson or Henry? I'm like so in on Henry, I should recuse myself. Johnson's the right answer. But I love Hunter Henry. It's working. It is all coming together. So a little story. Nashville Telegraph beat writer Tom King will be on my program tomorrow, on the pregame show tomorrow. Like, we asked him in August who the most targeted receiver in this offense would be in August. We asked him. and he didn't even hesitate. Hunter Henry, Stephon Diggs. I think Butte was his third pick, and we'll see how that plays out. But he, just says the chemistry's there, the role is there. But Johnson is the right call this week, I think. Again, go to the projections. I could always look at the projections, right? Yeah, it's Johnson. Oh, got a little news here from the Panthers. Chuba Hubbard and Ted McMillan listed as questionable, but both are expected to play. McMillan has been emphatic all week he will be ready. So this is like a nice news based on what I was hearing yesterday during the press conference. What my sense was Dave Canales seemed way less certain about. Let's see what I got here. Seemed way less certain about that. So yeah. So all the Tetero McMillan answers I give, I feel a lot better about right now. And I hope you do too. Judkins. It's Judkins for me. He's the younger, like Pollard's getting a hell of a workload. He's just not doing anything with it. At some point, Spears will be back. Will start being a limiting factor. They've talked about wanting to use multiple guys. We have a new play caller in there, Bo Herdergren, this week. Wasn't great last time we saw him with the Raiders. I don't know that, I'm proud of Brian Callahan for getting ahead of the firings of himself. The first one is his firing his play caller. We'll see what the next one is. Probably coming to a newscast near you soon. I'm playing Pollard or Judkins the rest of the season. Since JD5 is out again, I currently have Mariota in my lineup. Are there any other options better than Mariota? No, not really. I want to say Mariota's ahead of Penix in the projections right now. I like him better. He's got some rushing equity. Yeah, he's ahead of all those guys. What did he run for last week? 40 yards? I mean, that's helpful. Neighbor should be back to get double-digit targets without that insane 18 plus A dot. That is a good point. That is a fair point. Like more targets, less distance. We'll take it too. What two wide receivers of flex would you play this week? Says Trone Force. Tyreek, DK, Jalen Warren, JCM, Wandale, Troy Franklin. I'm playing Jalen Warren would be my flex. Oh, what did I just do here? Hold on. I double-clicked on something I shouldn't double-clicked on. Warren is the flex for sure if he's playing. If he's not playing, I'd slip down. I'm probably playing Tyreek. After that, it's kind of like every time I play DK, it's a huge disappointment. Let me see what his projection is this week and see if I believe it. Yeah, I'm probably playing Franklin over him. I'm probably playing Hill and Franklin. And we'll see about Robinson. Like, it was great with Russ. I don't know if it'll be as great with Jackson Dart. I don't know if anything will be as great as Jackson Dart, except his necklace. That'll be great. All right, let's see where we're at here. Still got time, by the way. If you just tuned in, say, who the hell is this guy? It's me, Bob Harris. Hi, how are you? Footballguys.com. That's the website. Find me there. Find my work there every week. Every Thursday, the Fantasy Notebook. Every Friday, my 5 questions with Gary Davenport. Every Saturday, the In and Out, just available now. All kinds of nonsense up there from me, Bob Harris. News early in the week. Daily podcast, daily update podcast every morning when you wake up. 10 minutes of news and information for you every night on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio on Channel 87, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday night, tonight, this very night, special show. It's the simulcast. It's a technological wonder. They play it on the NFL Radio Channel 88 and the Fantasy Channel 87, 3 hours. We'll cover some game stuff and do our picks. Then dig into fantasy. We'll have great guests, including the one and only Dave Kluge, who will take your phone calls on this program. In addition to just shooting the breeze, Jamie Calandro will be on with us as well. I think this is, I want to say what tonight's game is. I think I don't know. Oh, it's Dallas. It's the Dallas Green Bay game. It's our game in the week. We'll have beat writers from both teams. Sunday pregame show too. So that's me, Bob Harris. Thank you for coming here. I'll answer some more questions now. Appreciate your patience, people. It's yard guy day, and they have been like eerily silent even for me. I know you can never hear them as loud as I do. Every other week is yard guy week. I love it. It's very distracting. This week it has not been. Special thanks to Royal Slade for the behind the scenes reporting. Let's see. Would I rather drop Cup or Franklin for Algier, Dowdle, Braylon, or Likely? I would rather drop Cup for any of those if I wanted one of those. Assuming both play, Warren or McMillan at New England. I'd probably play in Warren if he plays. 10-team PPR, Purdy, Sutton, Ladd, Javonte. One? Well, I'm playing Purdy if it's just one. I'm playing Ertz over Andrews. Is that correct? I don't even know if that's like I'm just like not trusting Andrews. Probably he might be the better play. No, the projections agree with me again. I love it when I'm like just like winging it and flying by the seat of my pants and like going, wow, I should probably, it would be really responsible if I checked on that to make sure I'm not as crazy as the person asking the question. Because I do think, and this is all the respect, like most questions are some form of, am I crazy too? Right? Like, I mean, because that's how I, I hear like, no, that's not crazy. Like, I'm not sitting here telling you what to do. I'm sitting here having a conversation with you. We're deciding what you're going to do. Right. Or I'm being part of the process of helping you decide. I'm sure you're taking in all kinds of info and, you appreciate the back and forth and everything. And then you make this great decision based on that. But sometimes I want to feel like I'm doing it responsibly. I really like Sutton this week. Pearsall is probably the better play, unless there's Mark Andrews or unless there's Juwan Johnson. Right. I think people overlook how, I think people not named Bob Harris. It's pretty close. I'd probably play it safe and go Sutton in that matchup myself. I'm just not as Pearsall as everyone else, just like I'm not as Zay Flowers as everybody else, especially at a half point. Deciding between Knicks versus Cincinnati, or Fields versus Miami, but figuring I'll let the score help my direction since both play Monday. I think that's what I'd do. Like if I need a whopping game, I'd go Justin Fields. And also it gives you time to wait and see if Fields has any setbacks. Okay, here's Kluge. Damn it. Sorry, Joe. I don't think Knicks is very great. So I don't think he's very great either, but I think he has a great coach. And yes, Waldman hates all my quarterbacks that I love. We all know that. I don't know that. Well, we'll find out. I do think, the advantage, the thing that I hang my hat on more than I hang it on Knicks is the presence of Sean Payton, who I think will generally figure things out. But it's possible he doesn't. We'll see. We'll see as the season wears on what the real Knicks is. You may be right. I hate that part. PPR wide receiver flex, Pearsall, Keon, Henderson. Probably playing Pearsall in this one. Henderson would be next. This is true. And we've seen it with other players too. Matt Waldman would like you to believe we're seeing it with Jaden Daniels. No, he hasn't gone that far yet. Fair. Dave Kluge, very high on JSN. This is why you ask Kluge to come to chat. Value added. I'm reading like the next question ahead of this one, and I love the next question. Thank you for answering earlier, Bob. I appreciate when you drop Fannin for Gadsden. No, I would not. I think Fannin's role is persistent. He's right now the wide receiver 3. Could Isaiah Bond come on and change it? Like, I think there's weeks where he's going to be the wide receiver 2. All due respect to Jerry Jeudy, because Cedric Tillman's wide receiver 1, and we all know it. And hey, change a quarterback maybe changes everything if that happens. I love Merciful Fate. But King Diamond is the answer. Mason or Scatterboo? I'm probably playing Mason, but I like what I've seen from Scatterboo. I'm not going to lie. I'm playing. Let's see where the projections are at on this one. I'm guessing fairly close. I know where my rankings are. A little surprising. Unless I missed him. Yeah, they're not as keen on Mason as I am. Interesting. Maybe because it's so easy to throw against Pittsburgh. Is Carson Wentz really going to do that? Or are we getting over our skis on Scadaboo? It's not the most favorable matchup. It's like a significant difference, though. It's like Scadaboo is running back 11, Jordan Mason running back 23. I think Mason's going to outperform that. But there you have the information you need. The projections dispute me. Off topic, Jeremiah Love is so good. Can I see him being the top running back taken in the 26th draft? I'll leave that to draft next. Kluge, you're on. Real NFL draft. Yes. Would I play Tyquan over BTJ and Henderson over Kamara and PPR? Henderson, yes. Tyquan. So here's the thing. In my in and out column, I write about this. I also wrote about him in my 5 questions column with Gary Davenport. Love working with Gary Davenport. He's a joyous creature. Tyquan is wide receiver 27. He scored more points than Brian Thomas Jr. Xavier Worthy is coming back, right? Is that, how big of a concern is that? Or do we think that Tyquan Thornton, who we've heard reports dating back to OTAs and training camp, has looked really good? Like, does Worthy just come back and turn back into Worthy? Does he? I mean, that's the question you have to ask yourself. Nobody's taking Brian Thomas Jr.'s volume. Also, not a lot of people doing less with as much volume as Brian Thomas Jr. So that's the decision-making process. I'm probably giving Brian Thomas Jr. another week, but I would not talk anyone out of. And I know our projections like Thomas Jr. better than Tyquan this week, so because I looked into that. But it's very close. It's not crazy. It's not a crazy question. Who will you like more this week, Debo or Johnston? I think Debo. But he's got to let the versatile magic happen. Maybe he has to return a kick. Maybe it's going to be a long run. Maybe it's going to be whatever. I mean, the versatility what sets him apart a little bit. Williams or Love, Andrews or Hawkinson. Hawkinson and Williams, but I love Love. Love. It's a great matchup. See what the projections say. Yeah, projections like Love more as well. Also a good matchup for him. All right, I got a few more minutes. Still questions going on. We're still happening in the chat. It's great for everyone to come out. Really appreciate everyone's time. I love doing this every noon. Really helps me out as I'm trying to sort through, my own issues, working on my rankings. My rankings often change when you ask questions about players I haven't thought about, right? I do that while I'm doing the radio. While calls are coming in the radio, my rankings are up in front of me. And I am looking and I'm like, going through, is that really how I want to have them ranked? Is that really what I think about them? You don't like when you're sitting there and you set your rankings, you're setting them based on initially on the projections, then you're adjusting to what you like or the things that you see or the numbers that appeal to you. And, but you're not comparing every situation against every situation. Like it's easy to overlook players. We're ranking a lot of players, right? So these sessions are super helpful to me and helping me find cracks in my system. So there's the answer there. Is Breece and Judkins for King Henry too much to pay? Probably yes. Start 2 PPR. I think that 2-for-1 is not going to work for me. Right? I love Derrick Henry. I'm all in. I'm all about Derrick Henry. That's too much for one player. J-Mo Golden or Henderson? Probably playing Henderson here. I'm not as Jameson Williams enthusiastic as other people. He has a great swing for the defense play, though. So, if you're in a situation where, you feel like you need, a huge game, maybe I could say the same about Matthew Golden. He just hasn't done it, and we see Williams do it. You also have Judy. You were right to leave him out of the equation. Correct. Streamer stash, Gino, Goff, Purdy, Fields, Caleb. Oh, all of them. if I'm stashing and I want to keep Fields and Caleb, but I could stream all those guys. Great matchup for Gino this week. I don't necessarily need to play Goff this week. It's a tough matchup, and sometimes the running backs destroy his value. According to last week, Purdy's a suitable starter every darn week that he's on the field. Love it when he has all his pieces in place, and we'll see what happens when George Kittle's back. But Fields and Caleb are at the top end of this. I'm not expecting another shutout, but it's not a bad play. How often do I get to see Mike in person? Ideally, never. No. Less so. We used to see each other quite a bit. Serious. We would travel to events and cover Super Bowls and drafts and do a lot of things for Sirius together. But the Sirius, 2020 and on, they learned that we could do this all from our remote studios just as easily. So I do see him every day because when we're doing the radio show, we are in chat windows so we can see each other. And as Dave Kluge will tell you, we're giving each other flashing hand signs and doing all kinds of stuff. So we basically see each other every day. That is where he's at, Scampers. I was surprised too. I think that's QB1. Myers, Sutton, Ibuka, pick one. So I'm pretty keen on Myers. I'm probably too keen on Myers. They're right in the same range, right? I think the projectors like Ibuka the most. They do. It's Ibuka 11, Myers 16, Sutton 18. I hate it when I just read the rankings. It's boring, but sometimes it's better. Thank you, Devin Knotts, for being here. Joyous. Cited in my in and out column was Devin Knotts every week almost. I'm always read the passing matchups and the rushing matchups. They're a fantastic resource. Everyone go to Football Guys and read those. Appreciate you all coming. Yes, give it a like. And I like your work, Devin. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Jacoby. Thanks for coming. I got a few more minutes here. I'll say my goodbyes. Kelsey at home versus Baltimore, Kraft versus Dallas. I'm playing Kraft there in a PPR for sure. Thank you, Jordan, for that question. Appreciate you. Scamper, Xavier Scott versus Pittsburgh or Jake Tonjes. Oi. I'm playing Tonjes. Am I even saying that right? All right, everybody. Look, I got through all the questions. I still have a few minutes for a few more. If you have any, prefer something about, I don't know, Metallica or something, an easy question, but I'm not getting many of those today. I don't expect many of those. It's great of everyone to stop by. Love doing these again. Super happy that you find the time for me. And I hope these conversations are useful. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do, although I happily, as you heard, tell you what to do, tell you what I do. But man, these are conversations we're having. These are your teams. Monday, you're going to be looking yourself in the mirror. You can't kick me in the butt. You can only kick yourself in the butt. And we probably all spend a ton of time doing that. So go out there. We're into week 4. This is a pivotal week, right? The guys that I've been arguing, play your investments through the first month of the season. After that, everything is fair game. Everything is fair game. Here's an interesting question. Crazy to trade Garrett Wilson for Judkins. Trade him away? If I needed help at running back, if I needed a starting running back every week and I had depth at wide receiver, it's not crazy. Yes, thank you, Dave Kluge, for hanging out with us. Thanks, Andrea, always for coming. Deftones, hell yeah. New album is, I almost swore, and Joe would get mad. It's killer. Love Deftones. Pickens or Devonta. This week it's Pickens for me. Thanks so much. Thanks, Dame. Thanks, Chris. Have 2. I have Wilson, Brown, Ladd, and Sutton. I am playing Wilson and Sutton. Look, I've got nothing against A.J. Brown. He's one of the best receivers in football. He needs more work. And so do I. Thanks, Reserve. Thanks, everyone, for coming. I'll be back again next week at this very same time. Be sure to watch Kluge and Alfredo, many shows. Kluge on the Dynasty Show with Jeff Bell, Fantasy Football Channel with Alfredo. You'll find him out there doing all kinds of other stuff. I'm kicking my own ass. Yes. So check out all the channels. This is the Football Guys live. Subscribe to this so you get the notifications every Saturday when I hit the airwaves here. It'll be noon every week. So if you find me here, you find me on my X feed at Football Diehard or on the Blueski at Football Diehard. Look there. And away we go. It's week 4, people. Let's go take some names and do what Scamper says, but somebody else's. One more. Gentry and Debo. And I love Pickens this week. This is I legit like all these players. I think they're all on their own distinctive tiers, though. Gentry breakout coming, I believe, or something thereabouts, or at least a better game. All right, that's it. Over and out. Bob Harris. Go to footballguys.com. Get all the latest rankings, news, information, articles, analysis, everything you need. See you next week.